Hi, my name's Amanda. I'm a coach and a channel, and welcome to Guided by Spirit. This is a weekly channeled guided meditation and somatic experience that is designed to get you into a practice of learning how to get present, learning how to tune into your energy, your soul center, to become the source of everything that you've been looking for. This is a practice to get you consistent and comfortable with learning how to be the source of everything that it is that you're looking for, the clarity, the understanding, the perspective, all of the wisdom that you want to be able to receive about who you are, what's possible for you, what your purpose is, being able to connect to not only the deepest parts of you, but spirit itself, your loved ones on the other side, your spirit guides and your spirit team, and also potential. What is truly available for me inside of this lifetime? How do I understand what that is? How do I experience it first internally before I can understand how to access it externally? So, this is essentially a guided practice of getting you accustomed to doing that. And sometimes it's difficult to know how. How do I meditate? How do I tune in? What questions do I ask? How do I allow spirit to guide me? Well, this is a guided and led experience so that you don't have to worry about the how. All you have to do is show up, surrender, and give yourself an opportunity to experience it and allow spirit to guide you. So if you're feeling drawn to this video for some reason, if you decided to click on it to check it out to see what this is, there's something in here for you because I've set the intention for this to find you when it's meant to. And if there's a question you've been asking, something you've been calling in, something that you're feeling is missing or that you're searching for, but you're not really sure how to access, then there's something in here for you. And I encourage you to stick around and see what that might be. So, the way this works is I give you an opportunity to get comfortable, to find a private space, to close your eyes and to get really still. And you're welcome to play some music in the background if that's helpful. I also encourage you to have a notepad and a pen of paper and a pen handy, or your phone's notepad open nearby, because sometimes there's insight that becomes available when you open up to being able to receive it. And it's so helpful to quickly jot that down before you forget. And then I close my eyes and I channel an experience for you and I guide you through it. And your only job is to fully surrender to the experience and see where it guides you and what's available for you here. So before we start, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to tune in to spirit and see if there's anything that they want to say before we get started. Okay. What's up, guys? Is there anything you want to say before we lead this experience? They're just inviting you into an experience of curiosity and play and a willingness to be. They're saying sometimes we take these things seriously, too seriously sometimes, and we make it this big thing that we have to extract all of this important information from or do really important healing work from. And they're saying that that's not necessarily always needed or always what's desired, and that sometimes what's desired is just an opportunity for you to play with possibility, to play with your own frequency, and to see how powerful that you truly are, to see what's truly available for you inside of you in the present moment that you didn't realize was there. And it's an opportunity for curiosity to guide you. And curiosity, they're saying, is something, it's an extremely important energy because it's an energy of playful openness. And sometimes when we are not putting so much pressure on ourselves to have a particular experience with a specific outcome, we're more open, we're more receptive, and we're in more of a receiving energy, and we um become more available for truth and nuance to become recognizable to us. And so that's really what they're looking to guide you through today, is to like shake off all of the need for anything specific or anything that you might be feeling like that is really truly needed in order to have any particular type of experience, and just be open to whatever's here. And you might find that it doesn't always have to be so heavy, also always so they're like, you're so dramatic all the time. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be light, it can be fun, and it can be enjoyable. And so that's sort of the the way they want to navigate this today. Okay, so this is your opportunity to get quiet. So find a comfortable spot to close your eyes, turn down the lights, make sure that you're not going to be disturbed for the next 30 to 45 minutes or so, and do what you need to find a nice comfortable place. Wrap yourself in blankets and pillows, and do what you need to really um feel the peace that's here, and create a really cozy spot for yourself. And you can do this seated, you can do this lying down, as long as you can be fully present and comfortable without any distractions, is what they're saying. And when you've had an opportunity to do that, they just really want you to focus on your breath first and foremost. And they're saying the reason why they want to start this way is because this is a really important awareness in terms of where you are physically, because your body is going to tell you, are you holding any tension? Is there any anxiousness in your body? And it's through your breath that you're going to be able to identify that and release that. And so they just want you to focus on how deeply you're breathing, and really allow that breath to drop down into your stomach, all the way down, and allow it to fully expand and retract. And with each inhalation, just letting it fully expand all the way into your belly. And just noticing how good that feels. How good it feels to no longer have to hold your breath in, and to just be comfortable fully releasing your gut. Nobody's watching, nobody cares. It's just you and your breath. And just doing a scan. Let's start with your feet. Noticing if there's any tension in your toes and in your ankles. And just letting your feet fully relax beneath you. And coming up through your calves and your thighs. Just releasing any tension you might be holding there. And noticing if there's any clenching in your hips. Fully letting it go, allowing the breath to expand your hips as you inhale, and letting them retract as you exhale. And moving up to your stomach, just feeling how good it feels, almost like a massage to your intestines every time you inhale, just allowing your stomach to expand and then gently release. And then coming up through your torso into your chest, allowing each breath to expand your chest and then letting it all out. Feeling your heart softly beating there, a reminder of the friend that's always here with you, walking this earth life beside you, in partnership with you. And just having a silent moment of thanks. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for keeping me alive and free. And coming up through your throat. And just allowing your tongue to relax in your mouth, noticing if you're clenching your jaw, and how you relax the muscles in your face. The muscles in your throat also want to relax too. And just expanding that airway. And moving up to the temples and the forehead, just releasing any tension you might be holding there. Letting your shoulders drooping down away from your ears. And allowing your arms and your hands to release any tension they might be holding on to as well. and allowing your body to just lie here or rest here, enjoying the experience of this full release and the awareness of how relaxed you can feel when you're given permission to relax and also set the intention to. And they just want you to hold in your imagination an image that comes to mind, whatever it is in this moment, that exemplifies this relaxed feeling. And they just want you to imagine a door in your mind's eye. And you're opening that door and you're welcoming in whoever it is that you want to. But they're excited to see you. They're energy beings, people, animals, ancestors, spirit guides, friends and family, both living and past. That when they see you, they're just here to rejoice in this experience with you and feel the relaxing atmosphere that you're helping create. And they're just here surrounding you to support you inside of this experience and to remind you that they're always here. They're always here in physicality if you need to call on them, and or they're always here in spirit. And all that's needed is the invitation. It's up to you to open the door and invite them in. But when you do, you notice that they're here. And they're here in a way that they're rejoicing to be. It's this gathering of love and support. And they're here just for you. And there's no selfishness in that. There's no guilt in that, because in your imagination, you have that right. You can take up space, you can be the center of attention, and you can bask in your ability to and your willingness to. And they love that for you. They want to celebrate you in this moment. And that's what this experience is going to be, is recognizing how easy it can be to celebrate you and enjoy an experience of you, and perhaps recognizing how often you choose not to. And they just want you to allow that recognition to be front and center for a moment. How often do you allow yourself to be celebrated, to be recognized, and to be the center of whatever it is that the people around you are there to rejoice in? And if it's not often, or if it's not often enough for you, allow recognition to come as to why that is. Why don't you allow celebration to be present for you as much as you would want it to? What about that feels a little bit undeserved? Perhaps there's just not enough time to dedicate to celebrating you because there's other things that take priority. But when you really think about it, what could possibly take priority over you? Because if you're not there, and if you're not there in a way that you truly desire to be seen, to be recognized, to be celebrated and rejoiced, is the experience of you as productive? Are you as willing to get as much done? And do you enjoy your capacity to in the way that you could if your experience was different? If you took the time to celebrate you and allowed others to do the same, would you want to show up more fully? Would you enjoy the experience of doing so? Would you want to give more of you? Would there be more of a fullness inside of that awareness and potential? something that you're holding at arm's length because it just doesn't feel warranted, or there's something about it that just doesn't feel necessary until you really call into question why. Because what's the point of showing up all day, every day, if not for the celebration of your capacity to? If you can't celebrate the moments that you create for you in your day, for being you, for being there for you and others, then what's fulfilling about continuing to do so? How can you create that fulfillment for you? What could that be like? What could it be like to feel fulfilled just to be you? Not create a reason for the fulfillment to exist, but to have it just be there always. Is that even possible? Is it possible to be fulfilled inside of your life by just existing? Because the only thing that's creating the fulfillment is you, is your aliveness, is your awareness, is your capacity to just be in the moment and to celebrate every moment. What could it look like if you chose to do that? To create a celebration out of every experience. That every single moment throughout your day, there's a way to access this feeling of being celebrated. Celebrated inside of you. Recognizing that it's not really needed from anyone else, but as long as it's felt within you, that's enough. It's enough to evoke the celebratory feeling that you've been looking for. And just in this moment, Spirit wants you to recognize the availability of that and how you have not chosen to take advantage of that. And what could it be like if you were to? And just allowing yourself to contemplate that for a moment. To just make a very small list of ways that you could celebrate you in little moments. Little moments where maybe you felt like it was warranted or it could be necessary or available. And what it could feel like shoehorning that into your busy life. Is there something uncomfortable about taking the time and space to do that? Because would it mean taking away the attention from another person, and another person that's maybe depending on you or needing you, and where you typically shower them with devotion, but disregard it from you in the process? And what it could be like to give it to you first. If you were to celebrate you first and foremost and make that your priority, would you truly be devoiding that other person of their time in the sun? Or would it be that much more of a celebration by the time that you showered them with the love that you felt after feeling it within you first? Would there be an absence of space for them, or would it be that much more enjoyable because you would be feeling it that much more from within you? And just allowing that picture to take form, what that would look like, what that other person would receive in that moment and how they might feel, witnessing that energy radiating from you and then being in receipt of that. And what it could feel like to be that person often as you want, as often as you need. This is a simple experience today of opening your eyes to the availability of rejoicefulness, the availability of joy, of celebration, of love that's oftentimes just relegated to certain periods of time in our life where we feel like it's been deserved, or that the time for that has been allotted. Maybe it's somebody's birthday, maybe it's somebody's graduation day, maybe there's a goal that they achieved or some sort of milestone. But do we have to wait for those occasions to celebrate? Or can life itself be the celebration, and the desire to rejoice inside of who we are be celebration enough? And if that feels gratuitous to you, they want you to just notice that too. Notice any discomfort that arises inside of the possibility of celebrating you more often or as often as you want to. There's no wrongness there. There's just awareness that perhaps you have been taught that celebration comes after it's been earned. But what if surviving is earning it enough? What if just noticing you, how much you've grown, how hard you work, how much you love and devote to yourself and others is worth celebrating often? And what if celebrating you often is what's needed? And what if the desire to do that more often is enough? And perhaps, how could you be a leader in your willingness to do that and demonstrate to others that that's possible too? That they can celebrate themselves anytime they want to, and they don't have to earn it. They don't have to hold that at arm's length until the right occasion, but that they can just open up to a moment of self celebration, gratification, and the willingness to see and be and celebrate themselves anytime they want to, and what life could feel like if they should choose to, just as you do, and what the world could look like if that's how we all operated, celebrating ourselves often, and we were never devoid of the joy of that. How much joy we would feel and experience. And perhaps that's something that you would like to begin to integrate into your life, and to watch as that energy permeates from you and allowing others to perceive it and choose it for themselves too, and being the ripple to start that new wave of energy that we are all so desperately needing, especially at this time, a time where celebration doesn't feel right on some level, but we all recognize that is deeply needed on another. And I just want you to take a moment, really feel that, how needed that joyfulness truly is. And choosing in this moment to set an intention to allow that in more often, in whatever way feels right for you. And making that small promise to yourself that moving forward from this experience, if you notice that you are holding back from celebrating you, that there's a small opportunity for change. And just noticing where you may not be ready to or willing to, because that too is a choice, and it's a perfectly valid one. But the power is inside of seeing that the choice is there, that there's availability of a different one, and that you get to make that choice always. And just coming back to this crowd of people around you inside of your mind's eye, standing all around you, beaming at you, filled with joy and laughter and gratitude for including them inside of this experience. They don't feel frustrated that you're the center of it. They love having an opportunity to celebrate you, that you chose to invite them in, and they're just happy to be included. Who isn't happy to be included inside of a joyful experience? And just thanking them for that reminder that they're here to offer that to you, to celebrate you, and that perhaps they've been looking for an opportunity to. And that if you ask for that, they are so happy to oblige. And that maybe there are people in your life that would feel the same. And this is just an opportunity for you to receive any messages from them that are ready to come through. Just closing your eyes and allowing them to speak. If there's any representative from this group of people that wants to step forward and has a message for you, this is an opportunity for you to receive it. Just taking a moment and receiving that now. Taking as long as you need with this group of people. If you want to spend longer with them, you can pause this and come back to it when you feel complete. These are your loved ones, and you can take as much time with them as you want to. And if you're feeling complete inside of this experience, you're just going to watch them one by one file outside of the door through which they came. But instead of leaving you feeling lonely, they leave you feeling full because you just experienced a celebration where you were the center of that. You created that. You set the intention for that. You chose that. You asked for that, and you allowed for that. And the feeling of that gratitude, of that love, of that connection remains. They're not leaving you. They're just leaving this space to allow for you to integrate it. And anytime you want to invite them back in, you just visualize that door and you open it, and they'll come storming through once more. There is no limit to the possibility for you to have any experience that you want. All you have to do is close your eyes, set the intention, and create it. And that goes the same for life too. There is no limit for what's possible for you. All you have to do is close your eyes, set the intention, and believe in your ability to create it. And the opportunities will come to you. You just have to be willing to seize them. And that's where the bravery comes in. But Spirit just wanted to take a moment to remind you of that in case there's a part of you that often forgets. And just taking a big deep breath in through your nose and fully exhaling, just allowing the release from the experience and the integration of the experience to take place. And there's just one more thing that Spirit wants to take you through. They're just showing me this image of this highest part of you, your highest self, that's coming forward at this time. There's something they want you to feel. There's something they want you to experience. There's something they want you to know. And they just want you to take a moment to invite this version of you forward. Maybe you see them walking in through the door. Maybe they came up through your heart center. Maybe they simply appeared in front of you, but you see them, and most importantly, you feel them. And it's nothing but the most unconditional love for you that you could possibly imagine. And they just want you to recognize that the love that you're feeling is the love within you, for you. This is you that you're looking at. And the love that they feel is the love that they feel for you. And that is the reminder that they want to leave you with, is that this right here is the thing that you have been wanting the most. Because perhaps you didn't recognize them in the crowd that came through the door earlier. But the only person that truly can celebrate you and feel that celebration fully through you is you, and allowing you to. And it is the love that you feel for you that does that. And so the only energy that's ever truly needed for that celebration, to choose that celebration, to allow for that celebration, is you, allowing it to you and allowing it through you. And this is just a reminder of that. And you're just feeling that energy permeate you, the recognition of what you were looking for. It's the permission to love you, to allow for you, and to choose celebrating you. Just thanking them for that reminder. And just feeling the release of that knowing. If there's anything that you want to say to them, or if there's anything that you feel that they're trying to tell you, they just want you to take a moment to allow for that experience. This is your moment here with the deepest, the highest part of you. If there's any questions that are coming for you, any confusion, anything that you're really wanting them to know or receive from them, just take a moment for that. And again, you can pause this video to have as long as you need with this moment with you. And once this is feeling complete, they just want you to allow that energy to slowly dissipate back to wherever it came from, and allowing it to, not feeling any need for it to remain, because it's you. That energy is always inside of you. And it was just coming forward to remind you of what this experience was here to demonstrate, which is the need for you to feel the love from within you. And it's going to be here anytime you want to bring it forward. Again, the choice is yours to open the door and to allow it in. Just like every other opportunity that lies behind that door is a choice to simply open it and allow it in. Allow it into your life, allow it into your consciousness, and allow it into the experience that you're desiring to have, inside and out. And I just want you to very slowly bring your awareness back into your physical body. Just allowing your energy to come back inside, feeling your heart softly beating in your chest, a reminder of where all of that love is accessed. simply beating there softly, reminding you of the partnership with this beautiful organ that's here inside of this earth life experience alongside you, walking this path with you and beating for you and you alone. And bringing your awareness back into your toes, feeling them wiggling, moving your legs, bending your knees, rotating your hips, stretching your arms above your head, moving your head and your neck around, and feeling the gratitude for this moment that you created. A reminder of everything that's available for you when you choose to let it in. And all that's needed is the opportunity to open the door. Open the door to the life that's calling to you from the other side. But the choice is yours, first and foremost, to choose you, to feel the love and the gratitude from within you, and the bravery to see what's possible for you when you do, when you choose you, and you put you first, and you don't hold back from celebrating you in all of the little moments that you may have been wanting to, and perhaps didn't feel were warranted until now. Take as long as you need to jot down any notes from this experience, any messages that you received, any new insight or awareness that came through. And just allowing the feeling of joy and gratitude and potential to wash over you and linger here inside of you as long as you let it, as long as you allow it. Knowing that you can come back to this anytime you want to and relive it as often as you want to. This ends the guided meditation and somatic experience for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to stick around for a little bit on this live in case there's anyone here that would like to ask me any questions, would like to reflect on their experience, or would like to receive any clarification on anything that they experienced. If you feel complete with this, you're welcome to log off. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in next week's Guided by Spirit episode. Have a great rest of your week. Is there anything that you would like to say to wrap this up? They just want you to leave with being open to experiences that are available for you when you set aside the time to tune in with your energy, that the everyday life can kind of suck us into a state of stagnation based on the repetition that we're used to. And we can't have new experiences unless we take the time with an open mind to letting them in. And this was just an example of what that could look like and be like. And sometimes all that's needed is the willingness to fully surrender and invite in an experience and allow for that experience to open the door to something new. Hi, Blair. Thank you, Amanda. I have been struggling with low-grade discouragement. Any guidance? I'm so sorry that you're struggling with that. Let me see what they want to say about that. Um, oh, I feel like I'm in limbo on so many fronts. Okay, Blair. The message that's coming through for me is that you're in limbo because you have been hesitating to choose. You're being asked to choose, to make a choice. And there's something about making that choice that feels uncomfortable because once you make a choice, it feels like you're boxed in. And there's always this fear of, well, what if I'm making the wrong choice? How do I know what choice to make? And so it feels like this hesitation. And so this limbo that you're experiencing is something that you're actually unintentionally creating. Let me know if that resonates at all. Um, and they're saying that there's a hesitancy being driven by this need to get it right and this fear of being very let down inside of a situation that you created, and that there's this fear of experiencing the wrath of your own judgment on the other side of a choice that didn't go well, and what it's going to feel like to blame yourself for that and to feel like you were the reason for that. And if you can hold off on making a choice so that you don't have to experience that self blame and waiting for maybe like a sign or something to come up that's going to be like, to make the choice a little bit more apparent to you, that feels a little safer. And what they want you to know today is that the lesson for you is recognizing that sometimes you're hard on yourself, really hard on yourself. And I think that this comes from an experience that you had as a child where maybe there were people that were very hard on you, and maybe you don't realize that you have adopted some of that and you have taken some of that on and you're hard on yourself too. And there's a part of you that fears that a little bit, that fears the harshness of your own wrath. And so for you, there's a gentleness that's needed, and letting in this willingness to forgive, this willingness to be compassionate with you might soften the experience of this path that you're noticing, of this crossroads, and make it easier to identify the choice that you're leaning towards. Because I think that there's one that you are. I think that there's one choice that is sort of drawing you forward a little bit more than the other one. But there's just so much trepidation inside of choosing it out of fear of the wrath that you might have to face if you're wrong. And recognizing that and being willing to be more compassionate inside of the outcome, being brave to move towards the thing that's calling to you because it's calling to you for a reason. And also recognizing that if it doesn't go 100% the way that you want it to, intend it to, having compassion, having grace, and knowing that you'll figure it out, you'll pick up the pieces, and that there's just going to be another opportunity at another crossroads for you to course correct. And ultimately, that I think for you is the lesson here, is welcoming in a more compassionate relationship with you, because just like this experience that we had today, a part of you is really wanting that, is wanting to feel celebrated and joyful inside of you. And perhaps there's a part of you that's been holding that at bay and doesn't feel like it's always like been earned. Let me know how that resonates. Um, I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you know that there's one thing that's kind of that you're leaning towards. And I think that this is just a conversation of awareness about bringing these things to your awareness. And I think you know what to do. I think you know which way you wanting to go, and allowing yourself to trust fall. And it's not really, and this is going to be a lesson of trusting the intuition here, because if there's one path that you're leaning towards, it's calling to you, trusting that, like trusting your ability to make decisions, then trusting in your ability to learn how to be more compassionate with you on the other side of that. And those are kind of the two lessons that you're being asked to come into focus and to allow yourself to choose and experience at this time. Some of it feels like self-punishment. I feel like I'm blocking things out for myself. What um I think you're just not used to allowing yourself to celebrate you unless you've made the right choice or done the thing right or well or accomplished it or been successful. Like, I think that you have a metric system inside of you that, and this is all unconscious. Like, this is not necessarily something that you're consciously doing, but I think that it was modeled to you from a young age. I think that there was a strictness inside of your childhood, and achievement is something that was really important to the people around you, and they encouraged you to be successful and to work really hard and to have a high standard for yourself. And so you've adopted that and you've taken that on. And if you fall short of that, then you are your strongest critic. And so ultimately, what you're blocking from yourself is compassion, is a willingness to soften where perhaps you didn't realize that that was available for you, or how much that was needed, how much that's been really needed, and how tired you've become of always pushing and driving and achieving. And maybe that's not really something that this current version of you needs anymore or wants anymore. You just want to be able to take the foot off the gas and feel good. Yeah. So there's nothing necessarily that you're blocking from yourself other than this awareness that's been trying to make itself noticed, and also a new energy, this a new way of being, and giving yourself permission for that, because it's going to feel a little uncomfortable because you didn't grow up feeling that that was okay to do. And like re redefining that for yourself and choosing that for yourself might feel a little wrong at first, or there might be a little bit of guilt there, or you might feel like, but I'm not working hard enough, but I'm not doing enough. Like, I haven't earned this yet. I could do more here. And you might just notice that thought pattern. And this is just your first recognition that that's happening, and it doesn't need to drive you anymore, because that was never your voice. That was never your voice. Does that feel does that feel complete? Cool. I'm glad. I'm glad we had this moment together. I'm glad that that spirit made this space for the two of us so that you could receive that. I feel like you've been wanting to receive that for a really long time. Is there anything else that I can do for you, Blair, while we have this space together? Anything else on your mind? Or do you feel good with that? I feel like there's something else that you're thinking about. Yeah, one more question. How did I know? Can I get guidance on how I can support my son, Carson? Oh my God, you're going to hate this. They're just saying, what kind of guidance do you need? You know exactly what he needs. You know exactly what he needs. They're just saying, trust in what you know. I think that you pick up on things that um, that only you as a mom could notice. There's like small nuances, things that you bear witness to and observe, and you're very what's the word I'm looking for? Observant, especially with your son. You're just, uh, you're just, you're just like, you're always paying attention, and he is going to show you what he needs. I think that he is very outwardly demonstrative of the things that he needs. Like, he doesn't really hold back in communicating that, especially in a way that you can understand. Maybe if it's somebody else, they wouldn't pick up on it, but you notice, you're like, okay, he definitely needs this right now. He's not telling me he needs it, but I can tell he does. Trust that. You're very in tune with him, and this is an exercise of self trust and being compassionate with yourself if you get it wrong, because you're allowed to make mistakes. You were brought up to believe that that's not true, but you're redefining what's true for you. And what's true for you is that you're human, and inside of your role as mom, as person on this planet, you're allowed to make mistakes, and you're allowed to witness what it feels like to make a mistake and course correct, because there's so much wisdom inside of being able to do that. Because when you can build trust with you, where it doesn't matter what you do, what you choose, what the outcome is, you trust that you'll figure it out. That's empowerment. And I feel like you have a lot of that. Like, you're very confident inside of yourself in so many ways, but I think in certain areas where it's with people that you really love, or decisions that you think are very important and that are going to impact you and the people that you love, you hesitate. And that's where that old voice comes up that says, you can't get this wrong. And this is just an opportunity for you to begin to they're just saying mismanage that, like, redefine how you want to be inside of your life moving forward, and what you want to teach Carson. Like, I don't know how old he is. He feels like around 11 or 12, somewhere around there. Like, if he grows up believing that it's not okay to make mistakes, I don't think that's a lesson that you want for him to learn. I think you want him to observe you trusting yourself and making mistakes and course correcting, and just being okay with that, because that's life. And the resilience that's fostered inside of the ability to do that is going to be monumental to him, because it's going to build confidence and self-trust, and the ability to, like, talk to yourself compassionately, talk yourself through things. You're going to be demonstrating to him all of that. And I think that you guys have a very open relationship and you communicate very well. As he gets older, you're going to be able to articulate that more, and he's going to learn a lot from that. I think you guys are going to have a much deeper connection as he gets older and he's able to reciprocate that depth. And I think he's going to teach you a lot of things too. I'm really excited for you guys. Yeah. So I know that's maybe not what you were wanting, but I feel like that was what was needed today. Cool. I'm glad. Thank you so much, Blair, for asking. Thank you for taking an opportunity to put yourself out there and ask. I love having these back and forths. So, and it's validating for me to know that I'm not, like, pulling this out of nowhere, that I'm feeling you and I'm picking up on something. So thank you for offering that to me in return. And I'm here always. You can always email me or comment below if there's anything else that comes to mind, okay? Sending you so much love, sending you and Carson so much love, and trust yourself with whatever this choice is. You know what you want. And you'll be there for you in whatever way is needed, regardless of what happens. I believe in that. You're welcome. Bye, Blair. Have a great rest of your day. And thank you to anyone else who watches the replay of this. And I'll see you guys next week in the next episode of Guided by Spirit. Have a good one. Bye.